on equitable access in rural non-metropolitan areas of Georgia. Each year, today on December 1st, we observe World AIDS Day. And this year's theme is Ending the HIV Epidemic, Equitable Access, Everyone's Voice. World AIDS Day was first observed in 1988. Each year, organizations and individuals across the world bring attention to the HIV epidemic. They work to increase HIV awareness and knowledge, speak out against HIV stigma, and call for an increased response to move towards ending the HIV epidemic here in the US. In June of this year, AIDS did turn 40. There have been major advances in science. We can't deny that. There's better access to care. There's advocates, jumbled words today. Advocates across the country and within our local communities have really worked endlessly to help eliminate stigma and shame. And so today we are here to just be in conversation, to discuss the things that we've gotten right and to acknowledge where the barrier still lies. And what is in our way from stopping us from ending the epidemic. So again, just thank you for coming today and sharing with us. I do want to talk a little bit about some Zoom etiquette really quick, just things to keep in mind when we are in this conversation today. We know, like I said earlier, we really understand that so many of you all are elected officials and policymakers and are super busy. And so if you need to move in and out of the Zoom, please do so. That is not a problem at all. We are just really grateful that you're sharing this time with us. If you have hopped in and you're new and you did not hear this earlier, if you will, change your Zoom name. Adding your pronouns, whatever your preferred pronouns are. If you are looking at your camera screen, up in the right corner, the 3 little dot tabs, you click that, it gives you the option to change your name and to add your pronouns, okay? While the panel presentations are happening, if you will, keep your mic muted, and as well as keep your camera off. Feel free during the Q&A portions of this conversation, if you have questions, to turn on your mic and turn on your camera. That is great. And if you prefer to not be on camera or be heard, you can also drop your questions in the chat. That is great. I will be monitoring the chat throughout the morning into the afternoon, and we'll make sure that we get to all of your thoughts and comments and any questions that you may have. Like I said earlier, we are live streaming via Facebook and YouTube. And so if you would like to share this page, share this summit, feel free to go to our Facebook page. It's at GA Equality and share. We want as much engagement as possible and as much of this really, really great information to be shared. So that is all of the Zoom etiquette I have. Again, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat and we will get to them. All right, so what I want to do right now is just give you a little bit of information and history on the Youth HIV Policy Advisor Program that we have here at Georgia Equality. The Youth HIV Policy Advisor Program was created because all laws and policies related to HIV should be informed by the experiences of people living with HIV. The Youth HIV Policy Advisors Program, it trains young advocates living with HIV from across the state of Georgia on policy and advocacy, equipping them with resources to educate state, city, and county level policymakers around the creation of meaningful HIV-related policy and strategy. This year, due to COVID, like many things, we had to get a little creative. And so we had our program go virtual. And we had a cohort from across the state, and they've been meeting since March. This has actually allowed us to further our reach, and has given us, allowed us to address HIV in more rural spaces of Georgia, which was super great and very exciting. We typically celebrate the program on World AIDS Day with a luncheon in person. But again, because of COVID this year, we have had to be more creative. And so we have chosen to host this summit, our first virtual summit. So again, thank you so much for being with us. I want to acknowledge that this work would not be possible without the supporters of Georgia Equality, including the Annie E. Casey Foundation. And so we are super grateful for them. Each year, we have a group of elected officials who sign on to be partnered with our YHPA members. And this year, our elected officials who will be paired with them are Senator Kim Jackson, Representative Renita Shannon, DA Anita Howard, Commissioner Natalie Hall, Commissioner Khadija Abdur Rahman, Council Member Toya Tucker, and Commissioner Elaine Lucas. And so we want to thank all of our elected officials that have agreed to support the program and be partnered with our members. Our YHPA members will work in partnership with these officials in 2022. Because the summit is also targeted at policymakers and elected officials, if you are an elected official here or a policymaker, drop your name and office in the comment box so that we can recognize you. So feel free, drop your name and your office, and we would love to recognize you. So this is our 6th cohort of the Youth HIV Policy Advisor Program. And just time and time again, the cohort members have gone on to do amazing work in the community. They have gone on to lead organizations, join the HIV workforce, speak at the Democrat National Convention, and become the first. One person became the first person living with HIV to be a kidney donor. And so this particular cohort, we know, is on track to do just amazing things. We're so proud of them. In our current cohort, one of our members was invited to join